Hey everybody, on this episode of The Sapient, we are having another guest, Sally Giman.
Thank you. I appreciate you having me.
Could you please introduce yourself?
Hi, my name is Sally Gimmon. I became a real estate investor back in 2018 after my parents drove from Phoenix, Arizona to the Charlotte area. My mom got sick and was on a ventilator for 13 months, in the hospital for 15 months. She got better, but I was still living in Phoenix and I was going to their house three times a week to go through their mail. November 2018, her Medicare statement, 27 pages folded in half. I opened it up, and my dad was retired military. So her medical coverage was completely taken care of. But for 1 month in the hospital, it cost her $172,000. I was in shock. I was working as a Medicare broker. I was making commissions as an hourly employee, and I had an $8,000 deductible on my healthcare insurance. I needed to make a change. So I called my friend right then and there, my parents' kitchen, called my friend Glenn, said I needed to learn how to start investing in real estate. I started, first thing I did was use my self-directed IRA to buy 5 properties and wholesale them and never look back. July of 2020, I bought the deal of the week. It was a bank-owned reverse mortgage for $20,000 that would go to auction for $50,000. Fantastic. I'm going to make $30,000 rate of return on that piece of property. Only problem, July of 2020, middle of COVID, I had to wait 13 months for the court systems to open again. During that time, I had read a book called by Garrett Gunderson. He's an instructor in my real estate group. His book was called What the Rockefellers Do. I went back to that book and scoured it and started doing research. My background is competitive intelligence and also an insurance license. I started researching down the rabbit hole. I found the law firm that has the patent on the Spendthrift Trust. There are other Spendthrift Trusts out there without the patent. It's legal. It's in the IRS tax code, 643B, like Bravo. And it has gone in front of the U.S. Supreme Court twice and been favored by the U.S. Supreme Court, saying the Spendthrift Trust can do what it does. I became a client, and then I started teaching in my real estate group, a mastermind for 18 months. Doing really well. The first deal, that house in Rocky Mount, North Carolina, went to auction August 28th, 2021, held it for 13 months. Instead of going for $50,000, it went up to $64,000. And I made $44,000, but more importantly, I saved over $10,500 on that first real estate deal in the Spendthrift Trust. So my goal, thank you, Ganesh, for having me on your
Mhm.
podcast. I want to teach as many people in the United States what the rich know, the Rockefellers and U.S. presidents know. Maybe it's not for you, but at least you might learn something new about the Spendthrift Trust.
Got it. So yeah, I hope to explore this more, throughout the episode. Yeah, just getting back to the basics, right? As you said, once you got into real estate, you discovered a lot of these things that, let's say, you did not know before, earlier on, right? So my question is, when you started learning this, what was your initial reaction to this?
Originally, when I started with my real estate, I used I self-directed my traditional IRA that has a whole lot more money, my Roth IRA, and started using my health savings account. Now I moved to North Carolina because it's a very strange rule in North Carolina. It's called upset bids. In 2022, I won 8 upset bids and I wholesaled them
Mhm.
all through the trust. And just to let you know, short-term capital gains are 23.8%. There is past legislation in the United States to raise that to 40% for some tax
Mhm.
brackets. I have saved over $66,000 in capital gains with the Spendthrift
Mhm.
Trust, and I also hold 12 notes. I'm the mortgage on the on the property. People pay. I only have the paper on the house, if that makes
Mhm.
sense. People pay me the every month their mortgage. That's interest income, and I get to save that with the trust too. So real estate has changed my life only for the better.
Okay, got it. So, once you started learning this, and you evolved into, let's say, a different kind of person, in terms of how you processed, where would you place your money, and how what would you do with your money. So my next question is, when you got into this, what was your total investment?
Correct. Correct. The information at my website, I do have a slide deck for people. This information is legal. You can Google it. You know, I I do real estate and I do a little bit of crypto. I actually have some options trading that a friend of mine does. I don't like options trading. He does it all for me. But I'm saving federal taxes just like the Rockefellers and the U.S. presidents do.
Got it. So, like, what would be your answer to those people, who would say, tax, like saving on taxes is legal, but it's unethical to some extent. What would be your, let's say, point of view for that kind of person?
Correct. Um, just to give you a little bit of history, this does come from England. The trust comes from England way back when King Henry VIII started the Church of England. He was chopping off his wives'
Hmm.
heads, but he wanted to divorce them. He went to go tax the lords and ladies of
Hmm.
England. They went way back even further to the Magna Carta. I don't have the dates. I'm dyslexic. I get dates confused. So this comes from England. I don't know if people realize the IRS tax code only started in 1913 when we entered World War
Hmm.
One. So the law firm I work on behalf of, they have inherited this trust. It is turning 350 years old in
Hmm.
2023. So this is before the United States became the United States. It's written into the IRS tax code. It has gone in front of the U.S. Supreme Court. And if I don't read taxes very often, but if you look at the first page of the IRS tax code, it says it is up to each individual to save as much taxes as they can. I'm an English lit major, my undergrad. If you know the works of
Hmm.
Shakespeare, if you line up all of Shakespeare's works, they're going to be about this much. The US tax code is 10 times the size of Shakespeare's
Hmm.
work. So there's all these loopholes and everything else. I am not a tax accountant. I am not a trust attorney. I work for trust attorneys to help people save the if you're a 1099 income
Hmm.
earner, you're going to save 70% of your federal taxes with the business trust. If you're an investor, I don't care what kind of investor, you're going to save capital gains, interest income, dividend income, rental income, short term or long term, and then royalties. Most people don't realize, royalties are an author, an artist, a screenplay, an actor, but it also includes NFTs. NFT
Hmm.
crypto, NFT real estate, or NFT artwork are all royalties. And so my goal, thank you for having me, Ganesh, my goal is to teach this to as many people as possible. I'm not making fun of people, but the poor have a safety
Hmm.
net. The rich know all this information. It's the middle class that's getting squeezed in between. I'm a military brat. I'm complete middle class, and if I found this out and can start saving money and start becoming wealthy with doing real
Hmm.
estate, I want to teach other people how maybe a solution. Maybe it's not for them, but at least there's a solution out
Yes.
there.
Yeah. So before we get a little bit technical into the conversation, I just want to help our audience, like, let's say, walk along us in terms of where we are going. So for those people who do not know or who do not understand, could you just define what is spendthrift?
Sure. Now, the full name, so I don't want to get you all confused, but you should know the full name. It's irrevocable. That means it goes from generation to generation to generation. 97% of the trusts in the United States are what's called a family trust. My mom and dad had it. My Susie Orman talks about that on PBS television. Only thing that a family trust does is avoid going to probate. Um, you know, my when I finished my dad's trust, and when I finished doing my dad's taxes for 2022, that trust dissolves, and all the money in that trust gets divided between my two brothers and I, and it's gone away. So it's irrevocable, generation to generation. The Rockefellers Trust, they call it the office. It's 7 generations old, and it has almost 400 people all under the same EIN number. So this could be a massive trust if you want.
Hmm.
Irrevocable, complex. It can hold money from day to day, month to month, year to year, decade to decade. Irrevocable, complex, discretionary. Whoever is the trustee or trustees can make the rules for the beneficiaries if you want. I don't do anything special for my family. Non-grantor. This makes it 100% private. Somebody who will not be a beneficiary or who you invest with signs up for the trust, signs away from the trust. I do this for my clients free of charge. Somebody else from the law firm can do this. It just sets up the trust and then the spendthrift. Again, there's documentation. The trust I have is patented. It's called the Benson Financial Trust. Paul Benson was a law professor at Harvard. He wrote this trust about 70 years ago. And, I happened to find it because I'm a curious individual. I went through a book and underlined and called and Googled and every person I could find to find this trust so I could save money. I want to help other people save money at the same time.
Got it. So, apart from saving taxes and all these things, what would be the reason for a person to go with this route?
Correct. Besides saving taxes, which everybody wants to do, it's going to keep your information 100% private, which is important in today's information. And then the third most important thing the trust does is it stops you from paying judgments if you're sued. I can't stop you from being sued. And unfortunately, in the United States, we're a litigious society. What would happen is everything's in the trust, my car, my house, my real estate, my crypto, my dividends, everything's in the trust. I, Sally Gimmon, owe nothing. They can't sue the trust. They can only sue me as an individual. So if they try to sue me, I owe nothing, but I control everything. I just send back the first page of the trust saying, here it is. There's nothing there. I've had 6 clients this has happened to where someone tried to sue them. One client has an Airbnb, and the woman, he's up in Grand Rapids, Michigan, clearing out a hoarder house, 7 huge dumpsters of junk. His Airbnb is near Tucson, Arizona. She sends him a text. Oh, wow, kind of interesting. Memorial Day weekend. A year ago, she sends him a text a year ago saying, I fell and broke my wrist. I'm going to sue you for everything you have. His Airbnb near Tucson is beautiful. It's up in the desert, A-frame glass house that looks across all the desert, just really pretty. He calls me. He's like, what the heck do I do? I'm like, where's your trust booklet? He goes, it's in the back of my Jeep. On Tuesday, after Memorial Day weekend, he gets a lawsuit from her attorney saying they're going to sue him for over $100,000 because that's what people are insured for. He just sends back the first page back to the attorney, and the lawsuit went away. So just for Brandon on that one lawsuit, he saved over $100,000. He got curious because he didn't know who this woman was. He Googled her. She lives in Los Angeles. She had sued 8 other Airbnb hosts all over the Southwest, Las Vegas, San Francisco, San Diego, other places. 8 times she made more than $100,000 off of each one of those Airbnb hosts because her doctor was in on it and her attorney was in on it. I don't know how this woman sleeps at night, but that's her job, is to sue people to make money. And she didn't get anything out of Brandon because his Airbnb was in the spendthrift trust. That's in the beneficial spendthrift trust.
But do you also think that like this kind of trust formation helps people in ways of controlling irresponsible, let's say, family members?
Correct. So the neat thing about this, when you start the trust, you have an entire team to set it up for you, and a retainer fee to work within a CPA. Let's say you start this in June of 2023, you won't file your taxes until April of 2024. But then you can also put your family members into it. So I personally have both my brothers, my sister-in-laws, and all my nieces and nephews in the trust. Unfortunately, this trust will not work with W-2 income earners. That's my entire family. So every Christmas and every birthday, I buy them a silver coin. So they have something in the trust. If they decide they want to sell that silver, they will do it in the trust and not pay capital gains or interest income on that silver coin. So I'm trying to get them more involved with the trust, but you can't make a horse drink when you take them to the water, if that makes sense.
Got it. So so earlier you said something about 1099 earners. For those people who are, let's say, financially illiterate, could you help them understand what is this exactly?
Correct. So 1099 income earners are people who work for themselves. Maybe they're a salesperson, they're a real estate agent, they're on under contract. Actually, my brother is a 1099 contract worker. He's a Six Sigma person. He works different
Mm-hmm.
jobs. I have three businesses in the business trust that I make 1099 income on. Like I sell online education. When you have a 1099 job and you're paying your own taxes, if you're in the spendthrift trust, you will save 70% on your federal taxes. If you set this up correctly and have everything in the spendthrift trust, you will not file state taxes. People who live in New York or Illinois or California, this could save them a lot of money not paying state taxes. And this trust goes from generation to generation. So this is going to save you year one, year two, year three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, continuously saving you money over and over again. One of my clients, he's an online affiliate
Mm-hmm.
marketer. He makes $40,000 a month doing his because he's got a huge
Uh-huh.
downline. He's saving a ton of money with the Spendthrift Trust,
Got it.
the business
Mm-hmm.
Spendthrift Trust.
Yeah. Let's say a person is, he decides to, let's say, start with this. What do you think would be the overhead cost of, like getting started with it, and, having an attorney, and, what would be the, general cost involved in this?
Good question. When I started my Spendthrift Trust, I had 6 LLCs. The trust will not hold any statutory entities. So when you have an LLC, an S corp, or C corp, that's on the state level. So I shut down 6 LLCs. I was paying $150 per LLCs to do a K1 March 15th. All of that went away. Now, one trust, either the business trust or the beneficial trust, I'm going to be honest, the price is $20,500 upfront, either by wire transfer or by certified check. They don't take credit cards because people can cancel that. But once you pay for it, you're going to use it over and over again. So my first property, that bank owned reverse mortgage in Rocky Mount, North Carolina, I saved $10,500. I have a crypto bot that makes me money every single day, about nothing fancy, but about $38.50 a
Mm-hmm.
day. I'm not paying capital gains on that money every single day. One time fee. You do have a team that comes with you, including a retainer fee for the work with the CPA, who will file your 1041 for you. And then if you decide to have both trusts, many of my clients, only 6 of us have both trusts, but if you have both trusts, it would be $37,000 one-time payment. Now, 6 months from now, or even 2 years from now. But most people, when I talk to them, we discuss what they do. Most people either need one trust or the other trust. Some people have an Amazon store, they need the business trust. Other people who are in crypto or Forex need the beneficial
Mm-hmm.
trust. I, I usually have at least 1 or 2 meetings with a person, answer all their questions, send them the information, and explain what the
Mm-hmm.
difference is. I'm not out to gorge people. I'm out to help them. And if you only need one trust, that's all you need. I want to make sure you're taken care of that
Got
well.
it. So let's say, as we are, moving forward, if a person wants to, set up this kind of trust and, save money, what would you think would be a very conservative kind of net worth when he or she should start considering, start to form a trust like this?
Correct. That's a good question. I usually tell people you need to be making at least $50,000. $50,000 in crypto, forex trading, real estate. Then start looking at the trust, because once just to give you an idea, if you wholesale a house for $50,000 in the United States, capital gains on that $50,000 profit would be $13,900.
Mhm.
It doesn't pay for the trust, but if you do 3 houses in a year, it's going to pay it off for you. Um, Again, I'm telling people, look at their previous taxes. How much did they pay in 1099 income? Is it going to will it make them save money? One of my clients, true story, he's a car salesman. He makes 1099 income. He's got the trust. I work with business brokers. Oh, by the way, just so I can let you know this, Ganesh, if you're selling a business in the United States, I don't care if you do it privately or if you do it with a business broker, The federal government is going to take 15% or 20% of the sale of the business. No matter how much you owe, whatever the sale price, they're going to take 15% or 20% to pay for long-term capital gains. This is why I work with business brokers, but business brokers get paid in 1099 income. So they have, I've got several business brokers with the business trust. They're helping their clients sell the business. Just to give you an idea, somebody, the 28-year-old
Mm-hmm.
son, saw me on TikTok before Christmas. He showed it to his dad. His dad was selling a 42-year-old family restaurant in Kentucky, and he's
Mm-hmm.
69. His wife is 68. They're moving to Florida with the proceeds. Because we put the restaurant into the Spendthrift Trust before it was sold, he's going to save either
Mm-hmm.
$460,000 in capital gains at 15% or $600,000 in capital gains. His wife on March 15th called me in happy tears going, "Do you know what that does for our retirement? That's a lot of money for somebody
Yes.
retiring." So the business broker did not know about it. He sent me 3 more clients, and because he's an affiliate marketer of mine, all 3 clients got the trust, and then he gets paid because he sent me 3 more clients. So again, I sent you the link too, because this is your podcast. You should get paid for anyone who wants to find out
Mm-hmm.
about this.
Got it. So yeah, so my next question is, right, because you are having clients all over the states, would you prefer them to open this trust in a particular states?
This is on the federal level, so federal
Mm-hmm.
taxes. So I don't care if you're in Florida, if you're in Puerto Rico, or even if in Louisiana that has different laws than the rest of the
Mm-hmm.
country. It's anyone can have this anywhere in the United States. I do have foreign nationals. I have a Canadian who has real estate in the United States, and then a gentleman from Saudi Arabia who has real estate in the United States. The real estate in the United States, I can help them with. I can't help them at their home countries in Canada or in Saudi Arabia. But they do have one more form to fill out, because being a foreign national in the United States, they have one more form to fill out than somebody in the United
Mm-hmm.
States. But this is on federal level. It's going to save you only on certain federal taxes. People say, "Oh, I'm going to be tax
Mm-hmm.
free." Oh, no, no, no! I can't help you being tax free. I wish you luck on that. But if you do get everything in here, I moved from Arizona to North Carolina to do more real estate. There's a very strange rule here in North Carolina that I take a part of. My car is when I registered it here in North Carolina, I put it into the trust. The trust paid for the registration. The trust pays for the gas. The trust pays for the insurance. The car is registered to the trust. I did not file North Carolina taxes because I make no income in North Carolina. I do everything through my trust. So I did file federal taxes for 2022, no state taxes in 2022 because I have everything in my trust.
Okay. So yeah, so my next question is, once a person decides to get into, forming a trust, what would be the, like initial suggestions that or tips that, you could give them, in order to help them, decide what kind of trust do they want to set it up with?
Correct, correct. This is why when you go out to my website, you can set up an appointment with me. I also do a live Q&A every Monday night, 8 p.m. East Coast time, to answer questions there. People will decide what they're going to do. Just to give you an idea, the gentleman I was telling you about that makes $40,000 a month selling weight
Mm-hmm.
loss
Affiliate marketing.
things online. I do real estate here in North Carolina, and one of the real estate deals I did for him is in a small county called Anson County. It's about an hour and a half from
Mm-hmm.
Charlotte. We got him a house that he only had to pay. This is crazy. A 3-bedroom, 1-bath brick house. He paid only $12,900 for that house. It's on 16 acres. He's like, "Well, I need the beneficial trust now." I told him, "No, you don't. The house is not worth that much. The house. When you divide up all." He's gone to the county
Mm-hmm.
people, 16 acres. He can divide it in half, and now he's going to build a 3-bedroom, 2-bath house that is handicap available on half acres. Then he'll need the beneficial spendthrift trust. Right now, he just has a business trust But when his income gets high
Mm-hmm.
enough, then then he can get the beneficial spendthrift trust. So I have this conversation with people because I don't want people to be ripped off.
Mm-hmm.
Um, do you mind if I tell you
Yeah,
another
sure. Go
story?
ahead.
I had someone contact me. I'm just going to use first names. Her name is
Mm-hmm.
Anastasia. She's in the U.S. military, so thank her for her service. Unfortunately, her parents are divorced. Her dad passed away. Her dad had 3 rentals, and he left the 3 rentals for her and her 2 brothers. So 3 people are on 3 rentals. Anastasia has 4 rentals
Mm-hmm.
herself. Her mom has 5 rentals. She thought they were going to need a trust for each individual, like different things. And I said, no, 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 just one trust for the entire
Mm-hmm.
family. So how it's happening is the 3 houses her brothers and she
Mm-hmm.
are on. They have one bank account where the money comes in through that. Her rentals are in a different bank account. Her brothers don't know
Mm-hmm.
about it. Her mother doesn't know about it. Her mother's in the trust with a different bank account, and her bank accounts Anastasia and her 2 brothers don't know about. But all of them are under just one trust, saving a lot of money. The 3 properties they inherited from her father were all paid for. So she did a HELOC, home equity line of credit, on one of the properties to pay for the trust. They've put. Do you know about Subject 8 real estate, where it's people that the county pays for them?
Mm-hmm.
They're paying the loan off on that HELOC, so that now all the money they make in there is as the rental income is going to be completely covered by the trust. Her brothers think the brothers put their vehicles
Uh-huh.
in. She put her vehicle in. The mother put her vehicles in. They're saving so much money. And when Anastasia contacted me, she thought they were going to need like 5 different trusts. I'm like, no, 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 no. You just need one trust. We're just going to set it up with each person having their own bank account. She's like, that's easy.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, I understand, the complexities of, this kind of venture that a person wants to, go through, right? So if people want to reach you, where could they reach you?
Correct. Again, my name is a little bit unusual, Sally Gimmon. I'm on Facebook. I'm on LinkedIn. I'm on YouTube. By the way, my YouTube channel is small, so please like me on
Mm-hmm.
YouTube. On TikTok, if you go out to TikTok, my handle there is Spendthrift Trust. I'm a little bit famous there because I have over 13,000 followers on
Damn.
TikTok. But the website is thetrustisyou.com.
Mm-hmm.
My podcast, it's a little bit older than
Mm-hmm.
yours, Ganesh. It's got 22 episodes.
Okay.
It's called "Stop Paying Capital Gains Now" with an exclamation
Mm-hmm.
mark. You can find it on iTunes. You can find it anywhere that you download your
Mm-hmm.
podcast. And then I do a live Q&A,
Mm-hmm.
thetrustisyou.com/Q&A, Monday nights, 8 p.m. East Coast time. I go over my slide deck, and then I answer questions for anybody who's there. So I want to help as many people as possible. It might not be for you today. It might be something you're looking at in 9 months, maybe in 3 years. At least you have an idea of how you can save money easily.
Mm-hmm. Got it. So yeah, see, just like everything in life, like trusts also do come with their own kind of disadvantages. According to you, what would be those disadvantages?
Again, it's you're going to have to figure out when you need it yourself. I tell people making about $50,000, the price, $20,500 for one
Mm-hmm.
trust, $37,000 for both trusts. If you're making more than that, I've got another car salesman. He sells Porsches in California. He's like, I could pay this trust with just selling one Porsche. I'm like, congratulations. So when it's time for you to get this, I'm here to help you. I'm going to be honest. I was teaching in my mastermind. I found out about this in my real estate group. I was doing a mastermind for 18 months there. My mentor, my friend, and then he became my business partner. He and I had a falling out. He lied about money. I'm like, he blamed. I hate to say this. He's like a
Mm-hmm.
narcissist. So he blamed me for everything, and he took away my cash cow. I'm selling this in my real estate
Mm-hmm.
group. Thank God he did that, because it made me get motivated to start my own company in March of
Mm-hmm.
2022, thetrustisyou.com. I got a large contract with business brokers. I got to start my podcast. I'm helping more people than just my real estate investor friends in the real estate group. I'm now in another real estate group, enjoying what I'm doing. But now that I'm out there, I'm speaking on podcasts. I'm speaking. I just talked to an insurance group on Wednesday
Mm-hmm.
night. I talked to a crypto group last Saturday. I'm trying to get onto live speaking stages because, again, not trying to make fun of people, but 97% of the trusts in the United
Mm-hmm.
States are only avoiding probate, and it doesn't save you from paying federal taxes, keeping your information private, or stopping you from being sued. People think when they're in an LLC, they don't get sued. Oh, that's so wrong. You get sued when you have an LLC, and they can go after you if they know how to do this. If an attorney knows how to do it correctly, from the LLC to your personal finances, it could get ugly if you're only with an LLC. So again, I appreciate this, Ganesh, that you're letting me talk on your new podcast.
Thank
Thank
you
you.
so much for giving us the opportunity to talk to you. Yeah. So last few questions from my side. So apart from your
Sure.
business, what are your core hobbies that you do on the side?
My three businesses, just to give you an
Uh-huh.
idea, I have a website called Sally Soul Silver
Mm-hmm.
Coins. I have Excess Elite. I sell online education. And then, I just forgot, Novatech. I do that. I'm a real estate investor. I right now putting together people. We're taking down 192 acres raw land, 12 miles from Charlotte, North Carolina. I put a real estate investor. I'm getting 1% on the deal, and a developer together on the deal. Um, I I'm having a fun life. I get to do all kinds of fun
Mm-hmm.
things.
So yeah, one more question is, what do you think is
Sure.
more powerful, money or wealth?
I'm sorry. Say that again.
What do you think is more powerful, money or wealth?
Money's important. I'm not going to deny
Mm-hmm.
that, but I think having happiness in
Mm-hmm.
your life is the most important thing. I hear so many people say, "I'll be happy
Mm-hmm.
when. I'll be happy if." No, 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 no. Happiness comes internally. I, my mom was from very rural Ireland. I don't know where she learned this, but when she was potty training us, in the morning when you get up and do your business and you wash your
Mm-hmm.
hands, she taught us to say "I love you, Sally" in the mirror and smile. I mean, one person a day says "I love you, Sally" to me, no matter what, and I think it changes. Too many
Mm-hmm.
people have lost hope, unfortunately,
Yeah.
Ganesh. And if we can change that, that's the key. I think happiness, internal happiness, needs to be found for each individual on their
Yeah.
own.
It's more like, happiness is a state of mind rather than a destination, right?
Yes, correct. If you go out to my website,
Mm-hmm.
thetrustisYou.com, you're going to download my slide deck. Second to last page has several books that I really think anybody, I don't care what you're doing, should
Mm-hmm.
read. I, I honestly believe the 6 inches between our ears is the most expensive real estate out there. Do you know the average American doesn't read at least one book a year? That's really pathetic and
Mm-hmm.
sad. If people just, I can get lost in a story. I love to read, but you'll learn about something I've never learned about. If you don't mind me asking, Ganesh, who's your favorite author?
My favorite author ever is Arthur Conan Doyle, who wrote like Sherlock Holmes.
Have you ever heard of Wilbur
I
Smith?
have heard of him, but I have not read his writing.
He writes about Africa. The first book I read by him, I was in the Peace Corps for 2 years, so you got whatever was
Mm-hmm.
available. The first book I read about him was Diamond Hunters. I'm fascinated by his
Mm-hmm.
books. If I find a new Wilbur Smith book, you won't see me for 3 days because I'm reading it from the
Mm-hmm.
front cover to the back cover because I love his stories. I mean, you could get lost in things, So I really believe happiness is internal, and just getting lost in a book is just so much fun.
Yes, I think that's one of the like secret joys of life. Getting the opportunity to let's say get into others mind, how they view the world, and their writing through their writings, and how they have expressed themselves. So yeah, Sally, it was very nice for me to learn from you, because me being an Indian, I understand a little bit financial systems and laws and how United States works, as a country, right? Because um
Exactly. And are you in India or are you in the
no,
United
I'm
States?
I'm from India. I'm in India.
Okay, just to give you an
Uh-huh.
idea, this comes from England, the
Yeah.
trust. Not to say anything bad about India, but you two were under British rule for a long time. So was the United
Yes.
States. I don't know if this is in
Uh-huh.
India, but you should research
Yeah,
for
we
it.
have something similar to this in India. That
Oh,
has been
fantastic! You know about it.
implemented, and since you contacted me, I have looked into it. So yeah, hopefully I also get something similar of my own very soon. So yeah, thank you very much for kind of opening this door for me. Where I have also looked into our own laws to find a similar
Well, my
thing.
job is done. I've taught one more person something new. You'll Ganesh, you're finding it in India. If you can start saving money there, that's exactly what I want to do. Being on your podcast and other people's podcasts.
Thank you very much. Thank you, because you did really give this opportunity for me to just go through everything and understand how this works. And because I was very interested with Rothschild and all these people, who have generational wealth, and often people underestimate where that wealth has been stored, right? Because as you said, like United States is the sue land, like everybody likes to sue everybody, for even the minor
Unfortunately,
of the
yes.
minor of the things. So I did always wonder, like how did these people, let's just store their money and made sure their wealth or their assets were untouchable, you know so yeah, thank you very much for
Correct.
helping us understand how they are doing it, so that let's say we can just copy them, and hope to safeguard our own assets in the long term, and also make it a generational habit, you know to understand how money and law works, so that in the long term, as you said, right, we can not only save taxes, but we can keep the, let's say, the wealth roll, just keep it rolling.
Exactly. And with you starting up this new podcast, someone might hear about this in 4 months, 5 months, 15 months. Who knows? So thank you for having me as a guest. I appreciate
Sure.
that.
You're welcome. So yeah, it was very nice talking to you. I hope to have you once more, in the future. Just talking about, Miss Sally, rather than the business savvy side and financial genius side of you. Um,
Excellent. You've got my email address. Let me know when it's good for you. I wish you luck with your new podcast.
Thank you very much. So yeah, so to our listeners, this is the end of our episode. Thank you very much for sticking with us for however long this episode is, and also kindly make sure that in the description of this episode there is a link to Sally's website. So you just click on the website and show her support and love, from our, let's say, from my my own listener base. So thank you very much, everyone. See you. Tata.